Teeter with Lost Coast Populist's Reading Between the Headlines podcast, making sense of local and national news. Awake, not woke. Opinions are not facts. Make up your own mind. And we're back on the LCP site here. This is the videos section. And go down and you got videos that have been uploaded, but there's also a full collection of our stuff you can find on YouTube here, including the reading between the headlines episodes. If you're looking for a place to find those other than YouTube, you can find them right on the LCP news site. So it's always a handy thing there. But for now, we're going to switch over to our National USA segment here. So let's get going. I'm going to start out with woke climate. What do we got going here? The EV owner says he hears a loud boom a minute after plugging in his truck, and then error codes start popping up. An electric vehicle owner went on Twitter to share the trials of attempting to charge his Rivian R1T pickup at an Electrify American charging station. Just as he plugged in, bad things began to happen. An individual using the name Anson with his handle I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, said Sunday on the platform, "Hey, Electrify AM, I just plugged in my Rivian RT and 1 minute later I hear a loud boom and now I have a bunch of error codes and I can't even unplug my car," said Anderson, whose account said he lives in Southern California. Yep, and here's his account of that right there. And I guess there's kind of standard. I don't know if it was cold winter weather that caused this to happen, or I guess it could be a number of reasons. But what else do we got here? We got road trips in our long-term EV have been interesting. Broken chargers, full charging stations, single-digit temperatures, and optimistic range estimates have tested our patience. While winter has seen many travelers stranded at airport check-ins and counters this year, Motor Trends editors have been braving the open road with our expanding fleet of long-term electric cars, trucks, and SUVs. During the road trips, MT's Slack channels often become a de facto logbook of our exploits, capturing the headaches and small victories of long-distance EV driving in real time. Here's a lightly edited look at how our drivers have fared in the 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning and the 2022 Rivian R1T, also the 2022 Volkswagen ID4 and 2022 Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance, and the Hyundai Longland 5. When holiday travel peaked, the weather and temperatures turned nasty, or they simply headed to far-flung destinations. Okay, so they go on and they review all these cars. If you want to come on and check this out, we're not going to take the time to do that, but it's a number of cars, and looks like and from what I heard, the cold weather really affects the charging in a negative way, and just the overall performance of the battery. So I'd imagine you'll find some sentiment to that effect when reading through the full article here. But here we go. We've got a video on Twitter here, and let's check this out here.
Just don't have the same environmental controls we have. And then we're using oil tankers that pollute tremendously, but we don't count those emissions. The oil being transported by oil tankers from Saudi Arabia here, their annual emissions is double the entire mobile fleet of California, because they use a low-grade fuel. All the materials to go green, all the lithium and the cobalt, they're being mined in developing countries. They have no environmental controls, no labor controls, and they're exploiting people that have yellow skin, brown skin, and black skin. It's okay because we don't see it. It's over there.
So you're saying we pretend to care about the environment in a sense?
Right, but
we
we basically
just don't see that. When we don't see it we're okay with it. We just want to have a clean place.
And the same thing with going green. The emissions over there, we don't count those emissions. California loves to leak.
Yeah, so that's how California rolls, I guess. You don't see it, it's not happening, I guess. Yeah, just outsource everything, and kind of like all our, just America in general, with the products we buy from third world countries that use slave labor and other forced labor to manufacture all our cheap Walmart goods or Dollar Tree or who knows what else. But yeah, living in a dream world we are. Anyways, on to woke farming. Let's check this category out here. I'll go to some Bill Gates news, huh? Bill Gates wants to control your food and farming. Mega billionaire Bill Gates is arguably the most powerful person on the planet. Those investments control over patents and so-called philanthropy. Gates has essentially become the world's health czar, dictating public health policies and practices, including those surrounding COVID-19 on behalf of Big Pharma. But now Gates has apparently set his sights on becoming a global food czar as well. Attacking organic farming is wasteful and impractical, and pushing genetic engineering, lab food, and big data is the solution to the world food crisis. And I don't know if you heard of her. It's like this. She's from India. Her name's Vandana Shiva, and if you look her up on YouTube, she has a lot of video content where she talks about Bill Gates taking over the farming over there. Just I guess it pretty much runs like Monsanto. Pretty much just comes in, gets like all the local farmers to use genetically modified seeds, and it gets rid of their existing seed stock that has natural resistance to the stuff that's going on in the area. So that's a really negative effect. But anyways, moving on here, we've got a massive fire mysteriously occurs at an egg farm in Connecticut. So this is similar to the multiple, like dang near over 100 food processing plants that have occurred over the last couple years here. This won't help the egg shortage. Several fire crews are called to the massive fire that occurred in an egg farm in Basra, Connecticut on Saturday afternoon. And that was January 28th, so yeah, it's pretty recent here. There's the clip from it. Now let's see if the video will play. That's a fire for sure. Look at all that smoke. Holy moly. Man alive.
Oh my god. Look at how much smoke that is.
Okay. We're going to move on to another video. And this is about the chicken feed, though.
Conspiracy theory or fact? Several chicken farmers complaining. New feed they gave to their chickens stopped those chickens from laying eggs.
So my chickens have not laid since, I want to say, July 2022. And I just switched their feed a week ago. And for the first time since July last year, I got eggs. It is the feed. It is definitely the feed.
And this, 2 companies are making the feed that is blocking chicken eggs. Purina and Tractor Supply Company.
Gone months without any eggs at all. We've had them for 50 years and we've never gone a winter without a single egg. We started letting our chickens out to free range. We usually feed them. You can see they're not even touching the feed anymore. And apparently, everybody who's been feeding their chickens this type of feed has stopped getting eggs. Kind of convenient when eggs are the price of...
I just bought 18 eggs, $10. Couple of more things. 128 farms burned in 2022, many of them chicken farms. And recently, we've got this from Bill Gates. So what do you think? Conspiracy theory or just random facts?
Yeah, I don't know. What do they say about coincidences? I mean, how many does it take to just be highly suspect at least. So we're gonna move on to another section. This is Hollyweird. What's going on in the Hollywoods? Okay, the Screen Actors Guild expelled Whoopi Goldberg for extremist views. For years now, Whoopi Goldberg has gone further and further off the rails. So far, in fact, that even the left is having a hard time keeping up with her. Her own people, the liberals of the Screen Actors Guild, have abandoned her. Guild President Joe Barron said that the move wasn't an easy one to make. Whoopi Goldberg has a long history in the business, and a lot of people still admire her. But her extremism has gone too far. She is divisive, said Barron. She doesn't speak for everyone, and she says mean and hateful things. And then, it's true, ABC is forced to pay Roseanne $208 million for stealing the Connors. And that was all because she was a MAGA Republican, Trump supporter. They're like, oh, you can't be on our network station because you're a Trump fan. And now you go woke and you go broke, and they're paying for it. And then Roseanne turned down $4 million to take a spot on The View. She said she'd punch Whoopi. That's don't want that. Be a whole bag of chickens or a whole bag of snakes or something you don't want to open up. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and Tim Allen sues Pixar for Buzz Lightyear movie. Yeah, it's going full circle here. They did that, and then see, had like a couple new Santa Claus out too that had some stuff in it also. But moving on again to woke sports. Let's see what's going on here. We got yeah, check this out here, huh? What's wrong with its glove?
It catches. I told you so. I told you so.
Hi, I'm Colin Loeffler with the Minnesota Vikings, and this is the ultimate reception. Now every kid can catch like a pro. Come take a look.
Ultimate Reception features a patent-pending magnetic grip system that literally makes the ball stick to your hand. And with the smallest, strongest magnets in the world on your side, it usually only takes one hand.
Let's see what sort of excuses the fanboys come up with for this one. All the fanboys that told me I was crazy, what's up now? Here it is, 100% proof.
Yeah, moving on here. Yeah, so this has a couple links to other magnet glove related videos. This is on my Twitter here, and this little meme is the I'm too busy to research crazy conspiracy theories starter pack. And this is relevant just because of the sports fan, kind of goes back to the whole Roman concept of, the gladiator arenas and stuff, just giving the public enough distractions to keep them occupied and not have their minds wandering into affairs of the government or anything like that, Drink your liquor, watch your sports, all that good stuff. But moving on here, we got, this is the Bills. The Bills with the Damar Hamlin, and they're mocking the body double conspiracy theory. In this viral post, let's check it out.
Bills Damar Hamlin mocks body double conspiracy theory in viral post. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is...
Site security is a never-ending commitment. Who's looking out for yours?
Oh no.
I'm talking about...
is taking aim at the bizarre conspiracy theories that arose after his appearance at the team's playoff game on Sunday. After suffering cardiac arrest in the team's Week 17 game against the Cincinnati Bengals and being hospitalized for 9 days, Hamlin has returned to Buffalo to start his long recovery process. He returned to the team facility last week and was able to attend his team's divisional round playoff game against the Bengals on January 22nd, sitting in a luxury booth and being shown on the video board inside the stadium. But Hamlin's appearance, where he sat behind a tinted window in a luxury booth with his face partially obscured by a mask, gave rise to conspiracy theories that the team had replaced the second-gear safety with a body double. Damar Hamlin addresses body double theories in viral post. As Newsweek's Yevgeny Kuklachev noted, conspiracy theories around Hamlin's collapse started flooding social media within hours of the incident. Even before any official statements had been made addressing the possible causes, COVID and vaccine-related misinformation flooded social media, with Hamlin's name getting dragged into familiar collapsed, died suddenly anti-vaccine conspiracy narratives in the ensuing weeks, Kuklachev noted. Those theories arose again after Hamlin appeared at Sunday's game, with some claiming that it was not really the Bills' safety who appeared at the game, but instead a body double. Others noted that his full face could not be seen in videos shared by the team or the posts that Hamlin had made earlier in the week. Hamlin appeared to address the controversy on Monday, sharing a picture of himself posing in front of a mural showing him in uniform making a heart sign with his hands. Bills?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a guy with a mask standing next to a wall. How can you really tell who it is? Just like the guy in the booth there. And yeah, it's really not much you can tell. And Stu Peters here, he made fun of this also. You know, we're happy to announce that Damar Hamlin is doing great. Here he is, smiling and grateful for your prayers and $1 million in donations. Hope this clears things up. But yeah, that's about what the two last instances were too. I mean, I guess that's the left's way of debunking conspiracy theories. Like, we gave you something, right? I mean, just trust us. We would, there's no reason we wouldn't pull that. Body doubles, nah. So now we're going to move on to the woke government section we got going here. This is the NASA Challenger disaster crew members found alive in 2023. What's this about? The 7 NASA astronauts supposedly killed in the 1986 Challenger disaster did not die in the explosion and are quietly living out their lives in the U.S., with many of them hiding in plain sight, using their same names and working at high levels in the same fields that they worked in before the disaster, according to explosive evidence uncovered by investigators. So we go down here, and I'm pretty sure we got pictures of a few of them. Yep. There's Francis Richard Scobie, commander of the Challenger space shuttle. There he is then, there he is now. Yep. This man also named Richard Scobie, the CEO of a Chicago marketing advertising company called Cows in the Trees, who bears a striking resemblance. And then, this guy here, Michael J. Smith and Michael J. Smith. Yep. Ronald McNair, Carl McNair. Elsa and Claude Onzuka. Claude Onzuka is living out his days in a liquor adjudication board member in the Department of Liquor Control, County of Hawaii, in Hilo, Hawaii. Yeah, so that's an interesting story. Like, why did they did they stage that explosion, or what was the purpose behind that, I wonder. Anyways, uncovered web pages show Barack Obama led an effort to build a Ukraine-based biolab handling especially dangerous pathogens. No way. I mean, that's what was it, the CIA, or I think it was the Pentagon, or whoever said that all the biolabs in Ukraine, they weren't there for, making bioweapons. They are for biodefense. So yeah. Apparently, Obama was in on that here, creating biolabs handling especially dangerous pathogens. Of course, they were for defensive purposes, not bioweapons. Get that straight. But moving on here, we've got, this is the footage it just came out with Paul Pelosi, and it's kind of weird. The dude does have a hammer, and he does hit Paul with the hammer, but just the police show up and they're both just like, just standing there, both holding onto the hammer, like, what the heck is going on here? So we'll play the little video clip, but it's kind of weird here. Yeah.
Said 2620, right? No, 2640. Oh, yeah, it literally said in there. Hi, guys. How you doing?
How are you?
What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
Hi. Drop the hammer.
Nope.
Hey. What is going on right now?
I'm not getting an answer on call.
Bro, oh shit.
Whoa. Calls in the area of Pennsylvania.
I got him, Michael.
That's just too weird. Yeah, strange stuff going on, no doubt. So now in this next session, we're moving on sick and depraved, and it's the stuff that no one wants to talk about. I don't want to talk about it, but as we've said before here at Nationalist Populist, it's time to have this conversation about this horrible stuff that's going around it's going on around the world, around our country, and our very communities. So anyways, first up, this is Jamie Lee Curtis deletes Instagram post showing a photo of a naked child stuffed in a box. Like, who the heck has that on their mantelpiece? Like, how is that art, I guess? I mean, it's just disturbing, that's all it is. And I don't know, Jamie, I don't know. Yeah, in a strange turn of events, Hollywood star Jamie Lee Curtis has deleted an Instagram post after followers noticed a photo in the background depicting a naked child stuffed in a box, with some commenters comparing the apparent artwork to Jeffrey Epstein. I wonder if she's on the client's list. You never know. Jamie Lee Curtis, who endorsed Joe Biden's 2020 presidential run and is currently attracting an Oscar buzz for her performance in the sci-fi comedy venture Everything Everywhere All at Once, shared the photo of her Comet Productions office on Instagram on Tuesday. So, Comet I wonder, probably not. That probably doesn't have anything to do with Comet Ping Pong, but that would be weird if they're tied to some branding. That would just be too weird. But yeah, just look at that. It's like, wow. Who has that on their wall? Like, what is that even about? That's just gross. Anyways, moving on. This was, Now in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, parents uncover a cartoon of porn in their school library. This is the visual I've been picturing, but I can't feel anything. This filth has been showing up in schools across the nation. Now parents in Sheboygan, Wisconsin have found it in their school libraries. The parents in Sheboygan, Wisconsin School District, were shocked when they discovered that the child porn being pushed across the counter under the Biden administration was found in their school library as well. The parents of this Midwestern city, along with the shore of Lake Michigan, were stunned when they discovered that the child porn was in their own library. Parents discussed this discovery on social media and encouraged fellow parents to attend the school board meeting. No doubt. Yeah, just getting too weird with all the stuff that it's the failure in central planning. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's just all a failure in central planning. You get all these big decisions made at the federal level, and they're bad decisions, and they come down to the state level, well, they're still bad decisions, and the state can't say no because, or in our case, the state doesn't want to say no because they're just as woke as the federal entities in power. But get down to the local level, and they might want to say no, but they don't because they're depending on the funding. Yeah. Anyways, moving on here. it's just the strange reaction to the death of a child rapist drag queen. And it's not that, like, picking these articles, we're focusing on them just to, paint people in a certain way. It's just because, as this article mentions, that, the mainstream media doesn't cover these stories. So that's why we're doing it. So anyways, he was a convicted child rapist, but this chilling fact has been almost entirely ignored by the mainstream media as they report his death. Instead, the commentary and news coverage has been hugely positive about Moore's life. At times, the coverage has bordered on the gushing, with article after article going into great detail about warm tributes to Moore pouring in from the local community. This little snip here says, the fact that news outlets had the ability to report on the color of Moore's wig, but not on the atrocious crimes he had previously committed, is worrying. And lower here it says that he raped a kid that was under 16. It's terrible. But moving on here. Let me see. I think we're going to do... this is the Oregon man who pled guilty to accessing violent child porn. He was sentenced to probation and weekend jail time. Yeah, that's just... Scott Johnson, 27, pled guilty on Wednesday to 3 counts of encouraging child sex abuse in the first degree. The plea agreement ends a 2-year investigation into Johnson for child porn allegations. Yeah, once again, just terrible, but, can't be turning a blind eye to all these things because it's uncomfortable, unfortunately. And, terrible stuff. And here is, this is another tragic one. Everything you need to know about the gay couple accused of sexually abusing their adopted kids. And yes, this is a gay married couple in Georgia. They were arrested on suspicion of sexually abusing their 2 young adopted boys to make porn, and they're also LGBTQ activists, according to the pair's social media activity. And this is just tragic, because these kids were, they came out of a foster situation, then they were adopted, and then they were pretty much pimped out by these people. And once again, the media, the woke media, just doesn't even touch it, because, we were saying in an earlier episode, I think it was the Joe Rogan podcast, in Donnie's 2 + 2 = 4 clip, that they're a protected class, and so people are afraid to even say anything or even talk about it. They just glaze over it, move on to something different. It's just tragic. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna play one clip after we do a little blip about our LCP advertising here. You own a business who might benefit from reaching a unique target audience of freedom-loving Humboldt citizens? If so, consider advertising with LOCO's Populist. We have a growing number of options on our website and podcasts that might be right for helping you grow your business to a new customer base. Our team of skilled designers can even help you craft an advertisement that truly catches the eye.
As young women are being forced into slavery and hitting big events like ACL and F1. This is known as the Triangle. Victims are transported from Dallas to Houston to San Antonio and back. We're right in the middle. Here is Austin. And when big events come here with big crowds, that means big business. When music festivals and big events like F1 rev up, Austin police know that sinister sideshows roll into town too.
A lot of human trafficking rings and sex trafficking rings target special events. You see the call girls come into town, the pimps come into town, and so it is an issue. It is of concern for us.
That concern isn't just prostitution, it's slavery.
Going through that, I always felt alone. I felt dead inside.
When Cynthia Borsellino ran away at the age of 15, opportunistic criminals found her, groomed her, and sold her.
I traveled with a carnival. I would go to a lot of events.
Austin's police chief says he believes traffickers are recruiting for events like this right now.
We've had anything from local kids, young people being involved, local residents being involved, to young women that have been actually kidnapped and trafficked and sexed.
He trains his officers to know the warning signs, but says the public often holds the key to break the chains.
We have, in human nature, we have something called that gut instinct. That instinct, that little voice that tells you, hey, something's not right.
And speaking up is the one thing victims may not do for themselves.
They don't feel like they have a voice, that they're valued at all, even to the point where you don't even feel human.
Now that Cynthia found her voice, she hopes to change that.
You don't deserve this kind of life. You deserve so much better.
It's a big issue, and they say it's getting worse because proving sex trafficking and prosecuting it are the biggest problems right now. The FBI says sex trafficking is the fastest growing business of organized crime, and it's the third largest criminal enterprise in the world. The second highest number of cases in the nation right now is right here in Texas.
Well, that is just tragic once again. But it's something we really gotta start talking about and paying attention to, because it's a big problem with the border too, with all the cartel activity and whatnot. Just the trafficking, and also we already have a media that doesn't look at stuff just because of the political situation we have, where there's protected classes that you can't talk about, but the cartels, they add a whole different aspect to that, where there's the fear of death aspect, and that's something that we're going to be seeing more and more of as the border kind of unravels down there. But anyways, we are going to sign off for the national section here, and we will be back at some point for the international global section of reading between the headlines. Okay? Talk to you later.